Guys, what's up and how is everything? Hope everything is good. Welcome back to my channel. And the reason as to why the reason for this video is because as usual, the forecast, this is this week's forecast. And yeah, please, if you're new here, every week I post a forecast. What are my anticipations towards the new upcoming week or opening week, right? So this is this week's video. It's gonna be the from 28th of April till the first week of May, right? So I'm going to start right away, though you have to first apply your anticipations, your strategy, and see what's the most likely direction. As you can see, hope you've done, and let me apply mine, right? And we see if we match, right? So let's all right, this is the weekly time frame on gold, right? So as you can observe from this way, gold hasn't been retracing that much. As you can see, we have this pivot that we respected off and retraced a little bit in this BC consequent encroachment. Then we started buying from there. Then when we broke this pivot with this bold momentum, we also had this retracement, not that huge. And if we measure the premium discount, this I think this was the discount array, this FEG, you can do this mitigation block, or this order block, or this BC, right? So then we continued, price continued delivering off this discount array, right, with these two candles, actually three candles to the upside, though this one made a huge rejection. It made a huge rejection to the upside. And what does that show us? Do you see this? Do you see how price reacted around this pivot? So we also have this pivot, right? And we expect the same thing, right? I will expect for price to come retrace down into this weekly BC, at least the consequent encroachment. Then we shall either expect more lower bias or higher bias, right? But then all in all, we have to first anticipate for the retracement, right? Because of this huge rejection to the upside, and it's the weekly time frame, right? You can see how this previous week closed as it swept the this week's high, right? So we shall expect it. And most of you will ask why I'm not using this upper imbalance, right, or inefficiency. It's because this right here, do you see, if I measure this current dealing range, you can see that this is the only array that is relying in the discount, not this one, right? So yeah, I will drop to the daily time frame, right? And you can see more confluences when we drop to the daily time frame, though it's kind of complicated. But if you know what you're looking at and you are skilled from the higher time frame, it will show you more of it, right? So you can see how we invested this. You can see how we played around this area, right? Because this was the nearest support zone, and we could expect price to support price to the upside, right? This area, right? Because it was the nearest array that was in this area, right? But it got inversed with this huge huge inefficiency, and you can see how this inefficiency inverse this, and we had a retracement with 3 daily candles, right? So what is our anticipation? Yet we are seeing price has come to feel this lower inefficiency. So here the main reason, as if you have experienced the markets long enough, you can witness that if price is in between the FVG or the imbalances, any form of imbalances, it consolidates, and this is an example of it. You can see that we had this inverse FVG and this FVG. You can see how these daily candles played around these chart, right, or candle or price action, right? So you can see, guys, and most of the time when I notice this kind of price action, I try to avoid it as possible, because most times I hit stop losses in this kind of market. So what do I anticipate here? I either wait for price to close below this below the consequent encroachment for this imbalance, then I'll take a sell towards this weekly BC, right? Or if price breaks here and retrace above here, I'll take some possible buys towards this external range liquidity, right? But all in all, if price still consolidates here, I'm not in, right? But more of it, I expect lower prices for next week, right? Like, this is the goal for next week. This is the goal. It's not that I'm expecting lower prices for the whole week. Since price may only deliver here for only 2 days, then it continues to the upside, right? Because gold, it's only the previous week that it only consolidated. So that is it for gold. Let's go and watch EURUSD. So for EURUSD, I'm not going to take long explaining because it's similar with that of gold, right? As you can see that excuse me, when we observe EURUSD from the weekly time frame, you can see that price delivered from all the way from the monthly imbalance is around here. That won't take you there. Those who wanna watch it, go and see when I anticipated this gold from this EURUSD from this border bottom, right, till where it is right now. So you can see that it took this monthly buy side liquidity, because price, when we add a concept of IRL to ERL, it is finished, right? It is now complete. It is complete. And now for traders who took their buys here, they are now out, since this target has been already taken, right? So you can see with that perspective, when we zoom out, you can observe this candle price action. You can see how the previous 2 weeks, right, this high was swept, was being taken out with the current previous week. Oh my god, what English is that? I don't know, but you can see that it was taken out, and that huge rejection shows a wantedness, a willingness to go lower, right? Because we had this is the first confluence, the weekly pivot, and this buy side liquidity plus this high, right? It seems like price has taken whatever it wants in this direction. Now it's manipulating them, right? It has executed those who have the buy stops, right? The buy stops have been activated. Now it's going to the opposite direction. So this will be our first target, this weekly BC, and then we have this inverse 2 week mini threshold, you see. So these are our two first target, right? Because this could be just a retracement, right? When we drop to the daily time frame, we can observe it clearly that this is the same thing like for gold, right? You can see this first PD array was inversed, and this is a BPR, right? It has been inversed, and we got that retracement. So this, we could enter here when the market opens and kind of retrace back here. We could enter here and stop loss above here. Maybe when we get our confirmations, then hold towards this target. This could be our first target, this the weekly BC open or high, then the consequent encroachment or low, and this is the last target, this mini threshold of that weekly huge wick that was inversed, right? So, and if you can see it, if you can observe it with the daily time frame, it's at the open of the order block, right? Oh, right there. It's at the exact open of that order block. So that's it for today. Go did FX. I sign out. Take a screenshot if you like. Yep. Let's observe for next week. You should